Hey guys, Dr. Kory here, chiropractor, strength and conditioning specialist, and weight loss guru. Today we are going to go over adrenal glands, okay? And I've been telling patients I'm going to do a video on this. I'll do a video on this. Finally, it's here. Why do a video on adrenal glands? And here's why. They're so important, and so many people don't even realize what they do, where they're at, how they work. Okay, they've probably heard of adrenal fatigue, but have no clue on how they work. So we're going to spend a couple videos, couple days explaining what the adrenal glands do, how they work, and then we have a toxin talk coming up on this Thursday. We'll go through some of the the ways adrenal glands are affected. But first, where are the adrenal glands? Okay, adrenal glands are two little glands. I'm a bad drawer, so bear with me. That sit right on top of the kidneys. So here's your kidneys, and then here's your adrenal glands. They're little triangle glands that sit right on top of the kidneys. And then we're going to go through, I'll go through and even break down the gland of where they're at for you science people. But for right now, this one is going to be very global, very basic. What are they? How are they affecting people, especially in our society? Our society is very stressful. You open up your Facebook feed and it's all about emotion and stress and emotional stress. And then people are trying to go to the gym and work out really, really intense. Same type of, that's a physical stressor. So we're going to go through this. So what the adrenal glands do is help us understand stress and get through stress. Okay, so when we're in our environment, we have stressors placed upon us. Adrenal glands are receiving that impulse from the central nervous system or the brain, and then it's going to create chemical type of processes to help get the body to respond to those stressors. So with stress, we've got the big one, emotional stress. So loss of a loved one really triggers this response. Or even then physical stress, okay? Or let's go back to the emotional, you name it, work, finances, family, all of those types of things, loss, those are all emotional stressors that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. And then physical stressors would be things like the temperature, right? That's back in the day, that's kind of our main stressor was the weather, okay? But now we have, like I said, two of intense workout, okay, so trying to outwork nutrition, all those types of things lead to adrenal issues, all right? So adrenal, they're constantly monitoring stress, and then they create or release like what we call cortisol. Cortisol is that bad one, especially for all my weight management patients, is they come in here and they've got that ring of fat just right around their belly. That's caused by cortisol. And it's hard to get rid of because the body has stored it there for survival, okay? And the reason it packs it right in this midsection via visceral fat is it's trying to have energy, built up potential energy there just in case, okay? And it's very close to where those organs are, whether it's your digestion, your heart, your liver, all of those, it's gonna store it right through here, okay? And it will not let that go until death, because it's really trying to, it's your body is saying, hey, I'm protecting you. We're in survival mode. We're gonna lock it down here. And that's why our lipo laser is one of our probably top services, is just really targeting that area. And then, like I said, the weight management. That's how the Dr. Kory weight management program works. Is it fights cortisol. Okay, I call it the fat loss program versus weight loss, because I don't care about weight loss. I care about fat loss and getting the body to really focus on cortisol. And then from there, the adrenal glands affect the brain, or the cognitive, the thinking component of your body, okay? And that's how the chiropractic adjustment affects this situation, is it really helps to kind of recenter and reset, if you will, that brain, the CNS. So when the brain, the cognitive function is being hit by the adrenals, you get what we call like the excessive thinking, the constant thinking about things. You just can't get it out of your head. It's over and over and over and over, that path of, I gotta do this, thinking through things to the point where you can't even make a decision. So, on some of our intakes, it talks about like decision making. If your decision making has gotten worse, a lot of times that is a cognitive function from overstress of the adrenal glands. You just can't make a decision. You can't make your mind up. You just think and think and think, but you go nowhere. Or you find yourself standing in a room saying, where did I leave? Why was I here? Why did I even come to this room? Oh yeah, my keys. When you start to get a lot of that mental type of cloudiness, or just inability of the memory, a lot of times that's an adrenal issue. We call it popcorn. That's popcorn there. Popcorn thoughts, just random thoughts. You can't think linear anymore. It's just you're all over the place with these thoughts. And that's because you're in this fight or flight. Your brain is just trying to process all this stimuli to save your life versus being calm and out of that sympathetic response and just being able to just be calm and focus on what you need to focus on. You're in this fight or flight type of sympathetic response with the brain. And then we go into sleep. And sleep is such an important thing. I mean, that's, to be honest, a lot of your fat, when done properly, should be done. Fat burning should accomplish or be accomplished in REM, in your sleep, when your body's starting to use that. And you get, these are kind of you've heard of sleep cycles or sleep patterns of REM sleep. We should get 4 to 5 of those a night, 90 minutes each, okay? So you're in REM, you're out of REM. You're in REM, you're out of REM. And a lot of times, 2 in the morning, boom, you're awake, right? I can't sleep. Or failure to even be able to get to sleep. Okay, we'll talk about that here in a little bit, but just wide awake 2 to 4 in the morning, and you don't even know why. You have more energy then than you have the whole day, because the adrenal glands are so confused, and you're playing, with a little bit of the hypoglycemia or glycemic index that plays with cortisol. That's all confused. So as we reset all that sleep becomes, how it's designed to sleep. Or a lot of times you'll wake up in a sleep cycle. So deep sleep, you'll wake up right there. Okay. So you'll wake up right as that alarm's going off. And instead of being where you need to be in a sleep cycle, you're midway in a sleep cycle. So you wake up just exhausted. And just, you can't even function. You can't get out of bed. You're dead tired because you didn't hit those sleep cycles like you need to. And it's funny because they even make apps now you can time, okay, if you go to bed at this time, what time should you wake up based on the sleep cycle? So, there's things out there to kind of help really focus on, how do you get better sleep? And you have to get better sleep because that's when you recharge. That's when your body resets itself. If you don't get sleep, you're in a world of hurt. And it's such an important thing as far as shutting off cortisol. Okay, so sleep patterns. The other thing is when you wake up, so this is AM, PM, cortisol. Okay, so when you wake up, what should happen is your cortisol is actually going to be the highest of the day, and then it's going to slowly do that. All right, so the cortisol should wake you up, ready to roll, energy, and then slowly decrease or decline the rest of the day, allowing you to go to sleep. So allowing you to get into this REM cycle when you lay your head on the pillow. What happens is people's cortisol systems are off, whether it's from insulin places cortisol, or just from a repetitive abuse of the system. So what most people's sleep pattern look like is this. Okay? Waking up dead tired. So then what do you have to do? Caffeinate, right? That's when you kind of know you're in it, when you got to just get the coffee. I mean, and I'm guilty of that too. I mean, I understand. But, waking up to get the coffee, and then by the time you want to get to bed, your cortisol's high. Okay, so guess what? You can't get to sleep. So that's the questions we ask when we're working with people to help their sleep is, okay, can you get to sleep, or are you just waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning? Those are differentiators of what we need to kind of work on or fix. So if people just can't get to sleep at night, a lot of times it's because of that inverse cortisol. Okay, so we need to work on fixing that to help get that sleep into REM. Another thing too is and we'll cover this when we go into like the adrenal glands and what are those regions of the adrenal gland, what each function is, but the craving of salt. So my people we coach with weight or fat loss is, they just want that salt craving. They want that midnight or not midnight, that late evening salt craving. Okay, that is the adrenal gland screaming for more sodium, and the reason for that is they're losing sodium. They become deficient in that, or it's an inability to process sodium like they should. Okay, so they'll gain a lot of fluid in the lower area, all right, in the buttocks, the legs, ankles, things like that, and they'll crave salt. That's an adrenal issue, okay, and that's something that needs to be fixed in order to help that individual get kind of where they need to be and get those adrenal glands balanced. But salt cravings. Now that sodium, potassium, all those kind of play into the next thing is when we have a decrease, when these are lowered because of the output and you're craving that stuff, our body works like a battery. Okay, we have a charge to it. Every chemical process, every the biomechanics or biochemistry of us is very charge related. So what does that mean? I mean, we're like batteries. Okay, so a lot of people drink water, but back in the day, our water had electrolytes in it, right? So that was okay. Now we drink what I call hungry water, where it's actually seeping and pulling some of those electrolytes out, making the problem, possibly worse. So with that, we want to make sure that we've got, the electrolytes, whether it's sodium, potassium, or, some of the minerals like calcium, magnesium. Okay, those are all going to play into helping our body muscles have a charge. So if people are just tight, a lot of people will get just tight, like I'm just always tight, I can't get away from it. That is indicative of an adrenal issue due to the fact that it's kind of shed a lot of its electrolytes. So we'll need to make sure that we support that system and help decrease, obviously, the tension on the muscles. People with RLS, restless leg syndrome, fibromyalgia kind of even plays into this. But all of that tightness, that tension in the shoulders, rub my neck, all of that is indicative of an adrenal gland, adrenal issue it's been overused, okay? And it's fatigued, it's working hard. And then eventually, lack of that calcium and even the sodium potassium pump will decrease or cause heart issues, okay? That's why they tie stress to heart attacks. Heart has to be harder, blood pressure comes up, things like that. That's all increase of migraines, all those types of things. Tension headaches are an underlying cause of an adrenal issue. So even as far as the adjustment, we'll always target that area in the back just to make sure that the nerve supply from the CNS is getting to the adrenal glands. But there's some herbal support, food support, remember God food, to supply the body with in order to help heal these and give these adrenal glands what they need. Because our world is stressful. Okay, we're gonna have these. These don't go away. All right, they don't go away. We can decrease them through spiritual meditation, things like that. But they don't go away, especially some of the physical stressors. So what we need to do is support, bring in the foods, bring in the God foods that will help support this issue so that we don't go down this path, okay? Because that path is a path that so many Americans are on right now, and they don't even know why, all right? They don't even know why. When it's just that getting out of bed, drinking coffee, going through things, brain fog, can't think, crazy. Go back to this, this is actually when you're easily disrupted, or when you're easily angered, maybe that's a better one, easily angered, when you see all these road rage, when you see these shootings, when you see this upset, people lining up, yelling, and all of that, that is this, okay? And you can check yourself, if you figure if you're in the school line and it's taking too long, you got an adrenal issue, all right? If you're sitting at a red light and it's just come on, turn green, let's go, an adrenal issue, okay? You got to fix the adrenals to calm that down. That's all just because of the chemistry that's happening, and there's a fix to that. There's some herbs for that, all right? So hopefully you're understanding now how these things are like gold. Protect the heck out of them, feed them, support them, so that you can have decreased fat loss, increase of fat loss, right? So a healthier body, a clean thinking mind, healthy mind, better rest, and muscles that are responding and able to not be so tight. So tune into the next one. Hope to see you guys, as many as you can. Come to the Thursday talk. We'll talk about toxins, how they kind of mess with this system. Share this content, get this out. It's about reclaiming lives. We got to reclaim lives. We got to fix and help this stuff, because this can be helped. All right? Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.